Hi, this is Trey Pastor. Welcome to Spielberg Saturday, and I'm reviewing a movie that actually I bought a long time ago, but I didn't really get a chance to watch it. I always wanted to watch it, but yeah, I didn't. I guess I kind of forgot about it. Okay, so that's why I'm kind of glad I'm doing Spielberg Saturday, so it gives me a chance to review films from him that I want to see. That some films that I have of his that I don't have that I haven't watched yet, and some films that he has out that I don't have. And this kind of give me impetus to get those movies. Anyway, the movie I'm talking about, of course, is 2012's Lincoln. Okay, starring Daniel Day-Lewis. Okay, and directed, of course, by Steven Spielberg. And this has a great cast in it. Of course, you have Sally Field as Mary Todd Lincoln. You have David Stratham as William Seward. I think he's the Secretary of State, I think. And you have Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Robert Lincoln. James Spader, he's in it. Hal Holbrook, Tommy Lee Jones plays Thaddeus Stevens. You have John Hawkins, Jackie Earle Haley, Bruce McGill, Tim Blake Nelson, Joseph Cross, Jarrett Harris, Lee Pace. Just a ton of great people in this movie. Anyway, the story takes place in 1865, and it's about, I think it's like in the waning days of the war, Civil War, and Lincoln is trying to pass the landmark, the 13th Amendment, banning slavery. Okay, but of course, he has to contend with members in his own party, and of course, the Democratic Party, who was opposed to that, and at the same time to try to end the war. Because the war is basically winding down, and it's no doubt that the North is going to win. But at the same time, he's trying to end slavery at the same time. So this is basically the movie where he has to basically use all his political capital and stuff to try to get the votes, the necessary votes to pass the amendment. And of course, they talk about they tried to do it before and it failed. And this movie is just a great movie about politics and just a great performance by Daniel Day-Lewis. I thought he was just fantastic as Lincoln. Okay, and you have really good. I like David Stratham in this as the Secretary of State. He's trying to help get the votes for Lincoln, and you have you have James Spader and I think what's the guy's name? James Spader and there's got three of them: James Spader, John Hawkins, and I forgot the other guy. I think Tim Blake Nelson. Those three guys, the characters that they played, they were guys that were brought in to try to get the votes to whatever it means that they could. And they show them talking to the politicians and stuff and trying to basically bribe them and all the stuff and all the political you know all the basically all the wheeling and dealing that happens when you try to pass something. And also, Lincoln also he has to deal, of course, with his wife at the same time, played by Sally Field, who played Mary Todd Lincoln, who of course is basically a little nuts. Okay, like I said, one of her sons died. Okay, and her other son really wants to, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he wants to join the army. He really wants to join the army, and of course she's opposed to that because he doesn't want to lose another son. And of course they have a young son as well. And like I said, Mary Todd Lincoln is she's a little cuckoo. Okay, so Lincoln has to deal with her, and also, like I said, at the same time, like I said, deal with these politicians and try to make deals, and also deal with his with the military, trying to make these deals to try to end the war. And he has to. It's a kind of a balancing act he has to do to try to end the war, but at the same time not do it too soon, because if he does it too soon, he can't pass the amendment. Uh, okay, because if he does, end the war, then of course the South is never going to agree to end slavery, because they're going to want, if they you know, give up in the war, they're going to want something back from Lincoln, and to join the Union, and they're more likely to probably will ask for, to keep their slaves. And so Lincoln is trying to get the amendment passed first, then, end the war. Okay, again, at the same time, he's also dealing with a son who's basically really pig-headed and wants to join, he wants to join the war to show, to prove himself. And like I said, of course, his parents don't want him to join. Of course, and it's just a really powerful, intense movie. Like I said, it tells you all the political wheeling and dealing that has to go on, and I thought it was done quite well. All the behind-the-scenes wheeling and dealing deals you have to make, things to try to make sure things don't get out, and it's a really good drama, just a really, really good drama, and I really enjoyed it. A lot better than I thought it would. Okay, I think part of the reason I didn't watch it is because I thought it may be boring, but no, this movie kept me interested in the politics of it and all the wheeling and all the stuff that Lincoln had to consider, to get this passed, and all by it's just a really, I thought, great performance by Daniel Day-Lewis. He kind of buried himself into the role, and like I said, Sally Fields, I thought was intense too. David Stratham, I loved him too. Yeah, all these other individual little actors, the politicians that had to make the deals and stuff that would argue with Lincoln about, listen, we can't do this, but this time we have to make these deals, and then they hire people to go basically wheel and deal with the politicians. It's a really good drama, and I liked it. I'm going to give Lincoln a 8 out of 10. I thought the acting performances in it were great, but I think supreme, very talented cast, and I love those scenes in the court, in the I guess the chamber where they were arguing the merits back and forth. And Tommy Lee Jones, I forgot to mention him too. He was really good too as well. As what's his character? Thaddeus Stevens. He was especially good. I like Tommy Lee Jones too. He had to, because he was the head of the party, and basically he had to bite his tongue to get everybody in his group to go along with the president, and because he wanted more, of course. But they told him, listen, the reality, you can't get everything that you want. If you vote, if you go ahead and say that you want slaves to be free and that they're equal to white men, and then you're going to say that you want them to vote and everything else, and then you'll lose people in your party. You'll lose everybody in your party. Okay, and I thought he was really good. Especially that moment when he had to basically bite his tongue. I thought that was really good. Again, I thought Lincoln was really good drama, really entertaining, not boring at all. Really kept me interested in it. I'm going to give Lincoln again an 8 out of 10. Okay, really great performances by the whole cast, and a really good direction by Spielberg. Okay, so that's my review of Lincoln. Okay, let me know what you think of Lincoln. If you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.